Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here for our Friday afternoon with Phillip, my spirit guide, who will answer a question one of you ask. You can see our little girl in the background there. There she is. Well, let's see. Everything is backwards here when I look in the camera, so it's all backwards. There's our little Piper. She had to go to the vet yesterday, so she's kind of feeling today. So she's fine. She will be fine. We had to get her on some medication, but she'll be fine. Our question this week from a viewer is there harm in talking about others or gossiping if it is not ill intended? And I always say, listen to the end of what Philip has to say. That last paragraph always has the upbeat part, the part that really feels good about it. If you have questions, personal questions, just give me a call. My phone number is on my website, and that is below, but it's just my name. And if you have esoteric questions that would be of interest to all, or questions such as this, just put it in the comments below. And thank you all for your comments. I deeply appreciate them, especially those that are loving. The other ones, okay. If you want to say something nasty to me, I just ignore it. So those loving ones, though, I always like to comment back on. So thank you. Sheila says, hello, Diana and Piper. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Sheila from Amsterdam. I hope it's warm where you are. We are actually having a sunshiny day here in Ohio, and I am loving the sunshine. I'm going to go out and get some lunch as soon as we finish here. Anyway, at least I'm going to start out. Who knows? I might get 2 feet out and say it's too cold. So it's sunny, but it's not that warm out. It was 9 degrees when I got up this morning. Brr. Okay, here we go. And Sheila, I hope things are well for you where you are and you're feeling well. Hello, Gaida. She says, hello, everyone from Gaida in Woodbridge, Illinois, USA. Happy Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day. That's right. Thank you. It is Love Day. It was actually my mother's birthday, so I kind of forget it. Valentine's Day and always say happy birthday to my mother. So happy Love Day to all of you. May we just spread the love, starting with ourselves and spread it out to the world. So thank you. Here we go. There are many ways of talking about another, as we will explore. What is of utmost importance is that whatever the speaker says are words about their self, not the other. This is true if what is being said is praising or condemning. I'm going to read that again, or I'll just explain it. What Philip is saying is whatever we say about another human being is really what we're saying about ourselves. And that includes when we're praising someone as well as when we're condemning someone. And I think that's something we don't think about. When we're praising another human being, we're also recognizing that within ourselves. And I think that's a little bit harder to really grasp than when we're condemning somebody else. We forget we're also condemning ourselves. So we want to get those praises going, right? Okay. Philip goes on to say, let us begin by looking at the word gossip, both in denotation and connotation. By definition, gossip is defined as casual or unconstructed conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. The connotation of gossip refers to an act of unkindness when sharing personal information about another. The question then arises, can gossip ever not be ill-intended? This then brings the question, is it ever okay to speak about another person when they are not present? Our answer is yes. We believe there are times to speak about another who is not present. And no, it is not good for one person to gossip about another. These statements do not contradict one another, although they may seem to. They do not if we confine gossip to words of unkindness and speaking about another to relay true information. So, when speaking about another, one may be relaying information about an upcoming event, a wedding or a program, for example. The speaker may be excited or verbalizing how much they learned in a previous program. That would be the praising. And that's also, remember, coming back at us. When gossiping, the speaker is relaying information that may not be true. For example, the speaker may say, I don't know why she wants to marry him. I don't know where this came from. He's a known womanizer. Why, I bet he slept with 100 women. Or the speaker could say, I've never attended her programs, but I hear. Remember, what we say comes back. So we're condemning somebody there. And when we condemn another, we're also condemning ourselves. Phillip goes on to say, there is a great deal of difference in the speaker's energy behind the words. When one talks about another to relay truthful information in a helpful and loving manner, there is no ill intent and therefore no gossip. If, however, the speaker's intention is to relay that which is unkind and maybe not truthful, there is harm in this gossip. We remind everyone the energy you put out is the energy that comes back to you. We suggest that before speaking about another, you follow these guidelines. 1. Speak the facts. Be aware of putting your personal interpretation on the facts. Be kind. Speak not in anger or to do harm to another. And again, a third, if someone tries to engage you in gossip, ask why they need to talk about the other. Are they asking you to hear untruths about the other, or are they asking for your help to understand the other? And then 4, words have energy. What energy do you wish to put out into your world? We remind you that what you say about the other is that which you are saying about yourself. This is not always easily understood. To help yourself, simply ask, what do my words about this other person have to do with me? This is true whether you are praising or condemning another. This is the question to ask, whether you are the speaker or the listener. Everything in your private world comes to you, whether internally or externally, to help you grow, to help you understand life and spirit. I want to go a little bit deeper when Phillip is saying, if someone tries to engage you in gossip, ask why they need to talk about the other. But if they just, for example, that this happens, with my clients a lot, and with others who are in the field of helping, therapists, etc., spiritual guiders, counselors, etc. We often hear, and I'm also, if I'm trying to work through something about another friend or relative or whatever, I may ask someone to let me talk about that person. I may or may not use a name, but that isn't gossiping, is what Phillip is saying. That is reaching out for help so we can understand. Hopefully, I'm able to not only listen to my clients when they need to talk about their pain because of another person, but I'm able to send love to the person that caused them pain, as well as send love to my client, and able to help my client better understand it. I know if I need to talk something through about another person, it helps me if the person listening either has some good suggestions or helps me better understand that other person. What Phillip is saying is that's not gossip. That is reaching for the understanding. What he is saying is be kind. So we don't want to speak out in anger. And he's also saying speak to the facts. Be aware of putting your personal interpretation on things. And he reminds us words have energy. Now, while writing this out, I kept asking Philip, what about politicians? What about people in public life? And I had a discussion with a friend about that afterwards because Philip kept saying to me, it's the same thing. It's the same. So the friend and I, when we were talking, what we pretty much interpreted what Philip was saying, if we're talking about a politician, is talk about the politics, if not the personal experience of the politician, unless that particular personal experience has to do with the politics and the ability to do the job. I hope that all makes sense, but let me read just this last paragraph here again. We remind you that what you say about the other is that what you are saying about yourself. This is not always easily understood. To help yourself, simply ask, what do my words about this other person have to do with me? This is true whether you are praising or condemning another. This is the question to ask whether you are the speaker or the listener. Everything in your private world comes to you, whether internally or externally, to help you grow, to help you understand life and spirit. I hope this has clarified a few things for you today. And let's get a message from one of my books. It's The Master's Book of Answers by Phillip. And as you know, it's just an oracle book. I'm hearing left. It's just short sentences. I'm hearing left, which is page 318. If you heard left, we're in sync intuitively. If you heard right, that's a message you need to pay attention to. So left says, we are all only beginning to understand. We are all only beginning to understand. Page 318. Isn't that the truth? And how does that pertain to our message today? To the answer of the question is, we're only really beginning to understand that everything we say is about us and comes back to us. We are only beginning to understand the truth of our spirit, etc., etc. So, yeah, we're humans, but we're also spiritual beings. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We don't always understand the human experience, let alone the spiritual experience. So, my friends, be kind to yourselves. Go easy with yourself. We're all just beginning to understand. If you heard right, page 319, this is your message. Where peace lives, there can be no conflict. Where peace lives, there can be no conflict. Last week, I put out a video a little bit different than just Philip writing here. And I believe it's 12 ways to transition from fear to love. If you haven't seen that video, please go watch it. It will help you with where peace lives, there can be no conflict. And also, I did it. It's on my blog if you prefer a print version. So 12 ways to transition from fear to love. And that's what we're doing, isn't it? We're going from when we feel the fear. And again, you've heard me say it many times. It's not about suppressing fear or any fear-based emotion. It's not about ignoring it. It is about accepting it, recognizing it, and changing it. All right, let me say hello here. Sandra says, good evening from Frankfurt. And I keep forgetting, I want to say 7 hours ahead of us. So it is evening where you are. And Sheila says, hi, everyone. Happy Friday. And I could be off on that 7 hours. Forgive me. I always have to. I remember Ireland and Scotland. And then I think about that and I think, well, what was really the time zone? And when I was in Egypt, what was the time zone there? I just automatically shift to whatever that time is. But when I'm sitting here in Eastern time zone, it's very hard for me to recognize somebody's in a different time zone. So thank you all. I'm so glad you were here. And I hope our message today was of help to you. Again, if you have questions of an esoteric nature or something like we've answered today, just put the questions in the comments or email me. If you have private questions about your own life, give me a call. My phone number is on the email list as well, or on my website as well. Or you can email and we'll get you set up for a session. If you're international, we usually do by Zoom. If you're in Ohio, if you're in the States, we usually do by phone. All right, my friends, I love you. I hope you have many moments of love and joy today. Until we meet again, from little Piper, who's worn out today, and from me, I love you. Thank you for the love you send to us, and thank you for the love you receive for us, and thank you for being that bright light out in the world, that bright light, that beacon of love and light. Thank you. I love you.